guys, here's the hi. Long story short, my money was stolen. Long story short, my money was stolen. Long story short, 150,000 rand of my hard-earned money was stolen. Let me explain. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Laurina. And in today's video, I'm finally going to be doing part 2 of my journey towards buying my first investment property. If you're interested in that, which I know you are, then keep on watching. When I ended up part 1, I have notes today so that I don't get lost. So I'm just gonna try and keep to the script and give you as much detail as possible. I'm going to be summarizing a whole lot of things and I will explain those in depth in another video. End of 2018, my mom comes to me and she says, I will give you 1 rand for every 1 rand that you save. So in my head, I'm thinking, girl, money. I don't know about you, but I was thinking like I need to do half the work then. Because remember, she's been trying to push me to buy this house since like 2016. Since basically I was in diapers, okay? And I had been saying no because I was like, listen, I don't have enough money. It's not the right time. I'm gonna get there. Don't worry, it's gonna happen. So when she came at me with this proposal and she was like rand for rand, I was like, bet, like it's on. You have no idea what you've just started, but it's on. So literally August 2018 is when I put in my first savings. I still remember, I think it was like 7,000 rand that I put into my first savings. And in my head, that's 14,000 rand because remember what? Exactly, rand for rand. I was there, I was moving, I was ready. If you recall, in my first video, I did a MC job with SEMA Africa, and when I went to the SEMA Gala evening, there was the CEO from BGCE, which is the school that I used to attend when I first started with SEMA. So the CEO was there, he saw me, he's like, hey Laurina, I remember you, how's your studies going? Are you still keeping up? I'm like, yeah, I'm keeping up well, you know? Beginning of, so this SEMA evening happened in November, I think it was the 25th of November if I recall correctly, 2018. January 2019, he gives me a call, he's like, yo, listen, can we please have a meeting? I'm in PE. I'm like, yes, what? Of course, meetings. I love meetings, guys. We meet up at, was it the Radisson? Yeah, we meet up at the Radisson Hotel and he's like, I know you're doing this teaching thing. I know that you're very good, like, you know, academically, like, you know what you're doing. We want you to be a lecturer. I'm smiling now because retrospect is 2020. I'm smiling now, but I was not smiling. Like, mind you, I had been teaching now for, I think it was like 6 months at the high school that I was teaching at. And teaching and lecturing are 2 different things, guys. Like teaching, I mean, I'm teaching like, I don't know, like, I don't know how to describe it, but teaching, for me, teaching is like teaching. Lecturing, guys, and I knew this because not a lot of people do SEMA straight out the bat. So I knew that I was going to be teaching people that were older than me, and that's what it showed actually. I've never lectured anybody who was like in the same age range. I think, yeah, 1 or 2 people have been in the same age range. Everybody else that I've lectured has been like older, like older. Like older. These are people with careers, guys. They would be showing up there with their vrpa, with the AMGs, talking about, hi ma'am, like, so, oh, yo, it's been 5 minutes. Okay, repeat. Okay, talking about, hi ma'am, you know, what's the answer to question number, yada yada. No, they wouldn't call me ma'am. Oh my gosh, no. Hi Laurina. What's the question to answer number, yada yada? Can you please explain this to me? How did we get this calculation, guys? It was hectic. So now 2019, that's when I had a total, because if you've been paying attention, 5 full-time jobs, okay? So I had teaching, lecturing, YouTube, what were the other ones? Girl, my memory. Teaching, lecturing, YouTube, digital marketing, and being a brand ambassador for Orange, which I mentioned in my previous video. And then because of all the MC work that I was doing, I was now getting extra MC gigs, and I was getting campaigns for my digital marketing on my own personal capacity. So it was like 7 things that I had to do, guys. I was working. 2019. I've never had so many people show concern for my health and my well-being as I did in 2019, because your girl was doing too much. But why was I doing it? Exactly, rand for rand. So this whole time that I was like working and doing all that, I really appreciate the concern that everybody had, but girl, I knew first of all that most of the work that I was doing was contractual. 2019 is when a lot of changes started being made, because guys, I won't lie, like I was tired. Mind you, if you watch video number 1, I've been working since the day I left varsity. Actually, I was still working in varsity, but I mean, let's not count that. So I've been working since the day I left varsity, and I've been working hard, and I've been working at least 2 jobs, right? So I think I had gotten to a point where I was just like exhausted, I was tired, and I knew that there were some things that I was willing to let go because they just weren't worth my mental health and my well-being. So 2019, middle of 2019 is when I had to say goodbye to digital marketing. Hi. No, I won't make a video on that. Let's just not do that. There were more responsibilities that I was being given at the private school. So the private school that I was at when I joined, they did not have an accounting and economics department. So I was the one in charge of basically running that entire, yes, from the scratch. It's a lot. It's not a joke. I had to say goodbye to Orange, the brand ambassadorship. Also, hey, I won't be talking about that departure. And then of course there was a break in lecturing. So by the beginning or by the middle of 2019, I'd kind of died down. So that's why I had taken on so many things that I was taking on, is because I knew it was all contractual. No, don't worry about it. Oh, another 5 minutes. You guys, hey guys. Okay. Don't worry about it. Everything will be okay. Okay. And then that's when I started looking for my house, because by this point I was saving, I would say roughly 10,000 rand a month. I know that in May and August I had the biggest savings of 23,000 rand a month. If you want a video on savings, please let me know down in the comment section below. Explicitly say you want a video on savings. Don't be like you want a video on all of it. No. Savings. So how I was saving up my money for my house, and the best strategy that I can provide or advise on is give this money or put this money in a place that you can't touch, guys. I won't, listen here, I'm not the best person at saving. I'm not even the second burst. Oh girl. I'm trying to rush. See, this is what happens when you rush. I'm trying to not give you a 1-hour video and have to explain everything, okay? I'm not the best person at saving. I'm not the second best. I'm not the third best. I'm not the 10th. I'm not even in the running, okay? So what my mother, because she knows me. Hello. She gave birth to me. So what my mother said was, give me your money, I'll take care of it. So the rand for rand thing was supposed to be happening in her account. These damn birds, I swear. The rand for rand thing was happening in her account. So she had 2 accounts now. So she has the account that I used to put money into, but that was her also her transactional account. So it was where her money is also coming into, and the cards she swipes belong to this account. And then she had another account that she would put all my money into. So now I know if there's 10,000 coming in through here that belongs to me, in here there's now 20,000, because what? Exactly. Pay attention. I mention it a lot because it's important. It's important. Mid 2019, I think I had gotten to around 110,000 rand in my savings that I had been giving to my mom, which means what? 240, girl, because maths, 1 for 1, rand for rand is easy. So I knew, you know, I have 240,000, no? 220, okay, 110 times 2, 220,000 rand that I can be using for my down deposit for my house. That's when I started searching for a house. How I ended up finding out this or settling on the house that I wanted. Initially, when I started searching for a house, I was searching only in Joburg because my parents have investments in Joburg. They know the Joburg market, they know how it works, they know where to look. Because me, when I see a map of Johannesburg, all I see is Randburg, Santini, Malibongwe. Is it Malibongwe? Why do I always have Malibongwe in my head? I've never been to Malibongwe. I've never seen a sign for Malibongwe in actual Johannesburg, but I have it in my head somehow, somewhere. Is that even in Joburg? Please let me know down in the comment section below. But anyway, everything looks like a mud mess to me. Did I have a certain area that I wanted to settle for? No. All I wanted was a place that didn't need too much work, that I would just go in there and put a tenant into without needing to do any refurbishments. And I'm not trying to be no house makeover. I'm not there in my life yet where I can be doing all that time and running around getting quotations. No. I just want to go in there, have somebody pay off my investment in the long term and leave them be, okay? Leave their tenant and the banks to speak to Ishara, okay? I don't want to be involved. Only my name must be involved. So that's how I kind of started out my house viewing or my house hunting process. So allegedly banks don't do pre-qualifications anymore, so you have to go to like it's not a bond originator, but it's one of these guys that can help you with like your pre-qualifications. So you give them your ID, your pay slips, etc, and then they give you a rough estimate on how much the bank will be able to give you. So I had now a rough idea as to what my price range was, and I could go on and hunt safely with peace of mind. Here's when things changed, guys, okay? Here is when Laurina was like, I'm done, like I'm okay, no, right, sharp, the girls, the right up, like November. I don't know what it was. I think it was fatigue, guys. Like I was honestly just so tired. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I created the term December light. I said correct me if I'm wrong. Don't come for me, but correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember where the term came from, but I remember that in my circuit at least, I was the one that introduced it into the circle. Okay, I'm taking ownership of that. If you want to fight, we can fight. I'm good. But yeah, November came about and I decided, you know what? I'm gonna start pre-celebrating my December. So December light entered the equation, and all I wanted to do was literally just like wait for the end of year, and yeah, I was done with working. I was when I look back, I was done with working. Like November 2019, I was okay. I remember there were even like 1 or 2 campaigns that I just let slide. I was just like, no, thank you, I'm not interested, because I was just tired. All I was interested in December light, which is November 2019, was house viewing and December lighting. That's it. Now I was done. So yeah, that was November. Come November, I was now seriously hunting in Port Elizabeth because that's the only like city that I had access to. And then I realized, you know what, it's actually just easier for me to hunt here because I know the area. Like I know what you mean when you say Corsten. I know what you mean when you say Sherwood, Summerstrand, Humewood, South End, Walmart, Seaview. Like I know what that means, you know. It's way easier for you to hunt in a place that you are familiar with, and it was easier for me to do house viewing here. I still hadn't honed down my entire house viewing to just PE, but I was doing a whole lot more house viewing and house searching within PE just because it was a little easier for me to, you know, to do that. Yeah, and then, oh yeah guys, hey, let's talk about this please. I forgot, 2019 August, that's when my credit score came back, and it was a very good, okay? That's what it said on the credit report sheet thing. If you guys want to know how to get your credit score to be very good, excellent actually. I was 1 point away from my credit score being excellent. I'm still very touched about that. I will do some investigations as to why it wasn't excellent, but my credit score came back. It was very good. I was happy, and I had been building my credit score from when I was in varsity. Like that's how far back my credit report went, which is another reason why it's very important. What kind of credit you take out and how you handle your credit, because it may come to bite you like years after you've forgotten you even had this certain account that you were paying off. If you guys want a credit score video, then let me know. But I just needed to put that in there because I worked hard for it. 21st of November is when everything changed. I remember I was filming that day. Don't remember what I was filming, but I remember that I went to house viewing looking like a hot mess. Like I was half beat, eyelash on, eyebrow, one eyebrow, 1.5 eyebrows. Because the thing that happened is, like, my dad texted me whilst I was still filming, and he texted me a link of this house that he had seen in Sherwood. He was like, you better go see this house, like it looks really, really good. Make an appointment, go and see it now. Remember what month was it? December light. Do I look like I want to be out here doing all these things you want me to do? I want to December light. I want to relax. I'm tired. So I had definitely told myself, I want some.
This is for you. Don't give me attitude.
Oh. Yay. Free food delivery. Woo-hoo. I won't lie, I wasn't too interested in house viewing that day. I was kind of tired. I just wanted to film and, you know, house view the next day. But my mother had already made an appointment to go and house view this apartment, or duplex, I think you called it. A duplex. And I viewed it, and that's when my mother was like, just put down your deposit and put down an offer. And also the thing is, before we had gotten into the house, there was a lady who was in before us, and she had left with an offer to purchase. So if we didn't sign that offer that day, she could have probably come in and swooped that house from under our feet. So the real estate agent was like, if you sign this offer to purchase right now, you're first in line and you're good to go. So that's literally how I found my house. So with regards to why I settled for that house, there wasn't any work that needed to be done. There was literally like a shower door handle that needed to be fixed and a cupboard door handle in the kitchen, and that was it. It had a new stove in. It looked like the counters were just redone. The ceiling had also just been redone. Everything just looked sparkling clean. I could literally just move somebody into the duplex, and then they would be paying off my mortgage, and I would be literally out of the equation. Because literally all I would need to provide is a deposit to the bank and my pay slip showing that I can pay this house off, which is basically all the bank needs. So the house that I found was on the market for 490,000 Rand. I put down, okay. I knew I had forgotten something. Let's talk. Do you recall why I started saving up for this house? Exactly. So we are there now. I'm about to sign my offer to purchase, and they ask you like for a bunch of things. They ask you like, how much are you putting down as a deposit? How much are you going to be applying for from the bank? Yada, yada, yada. So that they have a time frame for which the seller can wait for you until like the seller says, hey, we're about to move on now and get somebody else. So I'm out there filling in the paperwork, and then I come to the part where it says, how much deposit do you have? By this point now, I had 150,000 Rand that I had given to my mother. So I'm like, oh, well, I have 150K, so shouldn't we put that down? And then your 150K, so I have 300,000 Rand. You know, naivete, guys, naivete. That's what we'll call it, naivete. So my mother goes, no, put down 120,000 Rand because you'll need the extra 30,000 Rand for lawyers' fees and transfers and whatever, yada, yada. All those behind the scenes, extra hidden costs that come with buying a house. If you want a video on the hidden costs when buying a house, let me know. I don't want to make this video too long. So my mother goes, put down 120K because you'll need 30K for the transfers and lawyers, whatever. I'm like, okay. So 120 as in 240, right? And she's like, no, we'll speak about this later. Hey! Guys, yes, hi. Long story short, my money was stolen. Long story short, my money was stolen. Long story short, 150,000 Rand of my hard-earned money was stolen. Let me explain. So remember Rand for Rand. But then do you also remember your parents telling you, oh, this is the last spoon, this is the last bite, you won't have to have any more, just have the spoon, have this bite. Basically, guys, that's how I was duped. Like, I'd had an idea from like the middle of 2019 up until like November, like the 21st of November, that day that I actually bought the house, that you know what, this run for run thing, I'm not sure what's happening, because she would give me the statement for the bank that she's putting all my money into, right? And it was always the amount that I've put in. So when in my head I'm like, oh, I have 50k, then she would send me a statement after she's deposited money into her account and be like, oh, you have 50k now. And I'm thinking, yo, but this lady, she's waiting a long time for her to be rand for randing, because now when I had gotten to 100k, I was like, where is she now suddenly going to get 100k just to put into that account for rand for rand? Can't see. Basically, my money was stolen. Basically, my money was stolen. Okay, so what ended up happening, guys, is I ended up paying 120,000 rand of my own money. Rand for rand was just thrown out the door casually, as if I don't have lawyers, as if I can't come to you and say you promised me this money. But you know, it's okay, it's family, it's my mother, we're gonna forgive her, okay? Don't go now causing trouble on my mother's pages. We've forgiven her. Because you understand, parents lie. But at my big age, guys, I was duped. I was duped. But if you guys want a apartment tour video, then let me know. I'll try and put together the footage that I have for it to make sense. But yeah, that's how I ended up getting the house. So what ended up happening is, after you sign the offer to purchase, I don't know where it goes. Can't lie there. I was about to say something, but I'm not sure if that's true, so let me not say it. So I gave the offer to purchase to the real estate agent. The seller accepted the offer to purchase, and then that's when I had to get a bond originator who then goes out on your behalf to all the banks in order for you to get your mortgage. So I got accepted by all the 4 banks. They accepted my mortgage application, and then it was just up to me to choose the one that gave me the lowest interest rate and then sign a contract with them, and sham bam wham bam thank you, ma'am. That's basically how the process worked. So obviously there's a lot more detail that's involved. Let me know if you want me to speak about how to get your, first of all, how to save. If you want a video on how to save, let me know down in the comment section below. If you want a video on how to build your credit score, especially if you don't have money, like I said, I started building up my credit score when I was in varsity by the looks of my credit report. I didn't realize that it went that far. I didn't realize there was something that I was doing in varsity that went on. That's a story for another day. Let me know down in the comment section below if you want me to do a video on whether you should be buying a house, because I think the biggest questions that I received when I now bought this house were like, how did you know, but it's such a big commitment, blah blah blah. It's not, for me, not really, because I wasn't buying a house to stay in, I was buying a house for investment. So I still have the ability to go out there and buy a house that I would settle down in. But at my young age, guys, I'm not looking to buy a house sorry, that I'm going to be staying in, because there's so many different requirements that you have when it's a house that you're staying in versus when it's a house that you are just buying purely for investment purposes. So for me, this was a house that I saw as a long-term investment where a tenant would be paying off my mortgage in the long term. I'm not involved except to collect rent and give it on over to the bank in order to cover my mortgage, give it on over to the body corporate in order to cover my levies, and give it on to the municipality in order to cover all that, you know. So yeah, there's different strategies that you take depending on what exactly you want the property for. So I think that in itself would be a video for another day. So the costs that were involved, just in case I forget now, were 120,000 rand deposit, 375,000 rand was given to me by the bank, 6,500 rand, if I recall correctly, was initiation fee for the mortgage account, I guess you could call it, and 31,717 rand and 50 cents was what I had to pay to the lawyers in order for them to do the transfers and all that, etc, etc. If you want to know about the actual process of how that works, then let me know down in the comment section below. Like I said, yeah, that's my story, guys. That's basically my story. So yeah, the reason now, let me just speak about the reason why I wanted to make this video, just as a summary to go out with. The reason why I wanted to make this video is not because I want you now to like pressure yourself into getting 5 jobs, 7 jobs, working 24/7, 365 in order for you to buy an investment property or whatever. No. The reason why I wanted to make this video was because of something that's very important that my mother's always said. But you know, when you think you're smart, that's when she hits you with rand for rand, because she's like, girl, bye. When she knows you think you are smart, that's when she'll have to come up with strategies to get yourself to do what you need to do for your life. So the reason I wanted to make this video was, and the reason why I told the story the way I told it, is because for me, I have learned a lot from people's stories and their journeys towards doing other things other than buying property that helped me with my property buying journey. And I think the biggest lesson, not a lesson, ew, my gosh, I'm not like a freaking, you know, guru on anything, but I think the biggest takeaway that I would like anybody watching this video to take away is, don't let your reasons turn into excuses. And what I mean by that is, when my mother started encouraging me to buy my own property, remember beginning of 2016, I was earning 3,500 rand a month. Tell me how I'm supposed to buy a house earning 3,500 rand a month. I mean, okay, fine, even if I do save, like how long is it gonna take me to save deposit that I saved of 150,000 rand? But that's the point that I was missing though. For my mother, it's always been financial education should come before you get the money. Otherwise, it's not gonna work. So I was blinded by the amount so much that 3,500 rand can turn to 35,000 rand a month, can turn to 350,000 rand a month, and you'll still be giving the same excuses. So what she's always said to me is, if you can't handle 10 rand, you can't handle 100 rand, you can't handle 1,000 rand, you can't handle 10,000 rand. So basically what she was trying to instill in me was the habit of saving rather than the amount that you are saving. So did I have a reason as to why I couldn't buy a house when I was earning 3,500 rand a month? Yes. But if it's been a whole year and you still have zero, you have no savings, you have nothing because you've been earning 3,500 rand a month, you're not getting closer to your goal anyway. Now it's just an excuse, because yeah, you can save 100 rand a month even for something, right? And what I want to bring out of that lesson is, like, if you haven't started your YouTube channel yet because you don't have the best of cameras, you don't have a microphone, you don't have a ring light, you don't have the proper setting, fine, that's a reason. But if it's been 12 months and you haven't even tried to use your cell phone camera, you haven't even tried to use natural light, you haven't even tried to like experiment and see what it would look like with the equipment that you have, then that's an excuse. And I feel like we make those all the time. Like, all of us, I make excuses all the time. Like, there are reasons why you can't do things, but don't let them turn into excuses. If the reason you haven't started that online business or that Instagram boutique or whatever is because you don't have the 5,000 rand capital needed, the 10,000 rand capital needed, the 50,000 rand capital needed, that's a reason. That's a good reason. Like, capital is a thing that stops people from starting businesses. But if it's been 12 months since you had this idea and you're not even 100 rand closer to your goal, or 200 rand closer to your goal, or 500, or even 50 rand, you say this is the 50 rand that's gonna get me to 5,000 rand to start my business, then we need to start asking ourselves, like, why do we keep doing this? And I think that's what my mother wanted me to learn. Like, I could have easily, guys, because by mid 2018 I had enough money. Actually, guys, I even lie. I lie, because as soon as I started digital marketing, my salary doubled because I decided to let go of the accounting job, because it was a temp job, and remember I was having issues with the accounting side. And because I decided to go full-time with digital marketing, the digital marketing agency said, okay, so we can give you more responsibilities, and literally my salary doubled right there and then. And then what was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I had a reason.
What was the reason?
I just explained the reason.
What was the reason?
It wasn't a reason anymore, because remember you said the reason you can't save is because of 3,500. Okay, now you have 7,000. Now what? Now it was, oh, but I need this money in order to do this and that. Like, I hope this is making sense. Like, I'm not trying to attack anybody, because if you feel attacked, then I'm attacking myself, because we are basically both in the same boat. I just want, if anything, that you take out from this, that stop letting your reasons become excuses. So if you want to start that business, start making actionable steps towards it today, now. Fine, you don't have the 5,000 rand, you don't have the 10,000 rand, you don't have the 50,000 rand, but at least by next month you must have the 50 rand. At least by next month you must have the 100 rand. At least by next month you must have the 200 rand needed for the prototype. You know what I mean? So yeah, I hope that's what you kind of managed to take out from this story that I have. Like, this is just one story of how I did it. This is not how people buy their first properties. Everybody has a different story, but at the end of the day, I feel like the principles are the same, whether it be about business, whether it be about bettering yourself, whether it be about building anything for the future, man. Like, don't let your reasons turn into excuses. And the longer you wallow and marinate in those reasons, the more they will turn into excuses. I had a reason when I had 5 jobs as to why I wasn't studying SEMA so much and why I was not progressing in my studies. But now it's just an excuse. You don't have 5 jobs, you have time to study. You have time to open up your books and write these exams. Even if it means you're failing, at least where's the evidence that you are doing something, you know? So really, when I speak about these reasons turning into excuses, I'm speaking about like all of us now, like all of us now. I think we do have the ability to kind of let things slide, and we shouldn't. So I'm not saying that you're making an excuse as to why you don't have your business yet, or why you don't have your dream car yet, or why you don't have your dream qualification yet. But if you're continuing not to do something about it for the next month, 2 months, 3 months, 12 months, I guess something must change in 12 months. At least have a goal to say, I will save the 2,500 of the 5,000 capital that I need within the next 12 months. You know? Because at least now you're somewhere. I hope this makes sense. I don't want to ramble, even though I feel like I have. Yeah, what other notes did I have? Yes, so please just let me know what other videos you'd want me to do. I obviously plan on expanding on my property videos a lot more. I do want to do a video about the misconceptions of buying a house. This whole thing that like the bank owns your house. You'll always find that person. The bank does not own your house, okay? But that's a video for another day. Another misconception is the bank will come and take your house and repossess it the day you don't pay for your mortgage. Relax, the bank's not trying to do that. The bank's trying to make money off of you from interest, okay? The last thing they want to do is repossess your house. But anyway, that's a video for another day. Oh, the biggest misconception is it takes 20 years to pay off a house, guys. Please, let's not do that, okay? But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's gonna be really hard for me to edit this video down because I know I did say a lot, but I wanted to say as much as I could without like cutting out the meat and the greet and the sauce of what I was trying to say. Yeah, so I hope you guys go out there and turn your excuses back into valid reasons and get going on your goals. Let me know down in the comment section below what your goals are and how you plan on tackling them within the next 12 months. Like, what are we actionably doing to get there? Because if you don't do it, my mama gonna call you. You don't want her to get involved. You don't want her to get involved. Because once she does, then you don't have a reason. Shame. You don't even have an excuse. You don't have an excuse, you don't have a reason. All you have is motivation to keep going. So yeah, that's my story. Way moving forward, because I did say I was gonna mention a way moving forward. I had the intention of keeping this house long term, but I might soon be making another video on why that has changed. Let me know if you're interested in that down in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye. Oh, don't forget to subscribe. What the hell? If you are new here, we're gonna be doing a lot of finance videos. Check out my finance department playlist. I do have a dedicated playlist to my financial stuff. And yeah, subscribe for more content. I will see all of y'all in my next video.